The following podcast is a Dear Media production.
Gals, okay, we just looked at the top of my notes because I don't know, I was just writing and I put gals on the fucking go because you are always on the go, and I'm so happy to have you here at the pod. We are, as I said in the last podcast, we're trying to get as much use out of this apartment before I leave, sadly. And I have to talk about the small stint that I spent in New York City was very much including you guys because I wasn't here that often. But we
characters in your story.
Yes, in the plot. Do it for the plot. We have Brooke and we have Danielle, who are, to me, fabulous girls that are always on the fucking go. And I'm going to dive into, because YouTube to me is just like so interesting because it seems so complex. So these are way more than just YouTube girlies, but this is what you guys did on the forefront, right? And then like mine was like reality TV, and then I went into influencing. You guys were on a YouTube. You guys did YouTube, still do, both of you. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then you became friends and did a podcast. So we're going to break it all down because I have so many questions too. Your origin story. Like, let's get into the origin story of
origin story.
Wait,
I think I'm a hero, actually.
Oh, I'm the villain.
Listen, been there. I personally know my favorite story is how you guys like met in person for the first time when when Danielle told me this story. I was like, stop it right. It's so quintessential because, sorry, I wouldn't normally do this, but how old are both of you now?
25.
25, 24.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but you guys are how old when you met?
I think
I was 8th grade. That's all I know.
Yeah, I think I was either 15 or 16.
So I was
Okay.
13 or 14.
So you guys
That's
are both
crazy.
on YouTube in the I don't want to say early YouTube days, but was it early YouTube days?
Yeah, it was early. We'll
yeah,
take that.
we're OGs.
Pioneers.
The pioneer.
Actually, at all, there were like way bigger people, but
Me, I'm like OGs. You're like pioneers.
Pioneers.
We're like Forbes 30 under 30. Those are the right things to say. Okay, so pioneers
sure
of YouTube.
buzzwords.
Yeah, buzzwords. Tell me the origin story of you guys on YouTube individually, and then how y'all met.
Okay. Well, I think that we both found YouTube in a similar way, which was that, one day we were just exploring online and we started watching girls our similar age, I guess to find like our niche that we ended up in. We found girls that were talking about makeup and about just things in their life, their room tour, their outfit of the day, very like wholesome content, I think.
Yeah.
And we I think we both, I can speak for both of us, started watching it and we're like, wait, I could do this too. You know?
Yeah.
We
for fun.
Very, very similar in the sense that like we've lived very separate lives. Like Danielle lived in Florida, I lived in New York, but we both were into theater. We were both very outgoing, and we both were like, I don't know, I feel like just it fits our personality very well that we lend.
Yeah,
in this,
that
like,
you went into that. I literally love the fact that I just realized that both of you bitches probably never had an awkward period of your life because
no.
because all the girls that grew up watching you, like me, when I was like thinking like, what should I do? Like, I don't know like what I did, but I definitely never was like, oh, they're doing makeups and room tours. Like, I think about these like beautiful stories of these girls that like had makeup tutorials. Maybe it was readily available for me online, but I was just like I want to be on MySpace or something instead. But like that was like I was like playing like Horseland and Neopets. Like that was my like online fixation, and you guys were like, how do I better myself at age like 12?
No, I definitely did like the Neopets. That's where like the 2 age difference I feel like comes between us, where like I did a little bit of like the Neopets.
Isn't it funny
like,
how 2 years can make such a difference in like things you did growing up? You're like Penguin, like what was the Penguin Land or Penguin?
I did Club Penguin and Webkins. Those were mine.
Yeah, and
Was
I'm
that
like,
not you?
no, it's not me, but like people that
God,
are
I
literally
loved it.
2 years younger than me was like, I was obsessed, and I was like, you're a child, a baby. But like I did Neopets, and someone that's only a year, my best friend Taylor's like, Neopets. I'm like, no, bitch, I did Neopets.
Yeah,
like
like,
I
you're
was
fully
in
in
the
the
thick
world.
of it, like for real. So like, yeah, it's just interesting how like tiny little age gaps can like make a
We're
difference.
much so.
noticing things every
But
now and then.
theater girly pops ended up. It makes sense. I also did theater when I was growing up.
Oh, you
really?
did?
That
Yeah.
just makes so much sense.
theater
I
and
love
pageants. I see this
Yeah.
for you.
Oh,
You with the champagne glass right now, or the wine glass with the champagne in it, is like sending me because I think it's like elevating just your voices and
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
I love
Oh,
it. It's like a
sophistication.
character.
Thank you so much. I'm like really shooting my own horn here, but no, yeah, theater was like I was always doing theater.
No, we love that. Well, Brooke, you missed a little thing.
Oh,
well, I know, like we've told the story so many times.
I know.
Together, it changes
Of how
every
we
time.
actually met.
For my people,
no.
tell it.
So we found the beauty community, but before
Oh,
that,
yeah.
Brooke and I were doing OG TikTok, which is called music videos on YouTube. We literally made a music
What?
video.
Producer Courtney is
She's
shaking
like,
her head.
you know what
Yes.
we're
She's like,
talking about?
what?
Like It was so, like, and that's when I met you, and you said you had done that too. I just loved you even
And then
more.
we clicked, like, then it just, the stories just, like, made sense, you know?
Like, everything just made sense.
Wait, I'm, like, almost wanting to pull this up. YouTube, are they still a thing?
Like, do you remember, like, who did it? Like, Andrea Russet. That's so Jack. I'm saying
We're thinking of, like, original usernames.
like collab channels, and they'd make music videos every day.
Do you literally never watch YouTube? Like, you're making it seem like this is, like, a foreign thing to you.
Like
It is for some
Vine
people.
and, like, okay, what am I thinking of? Musical.ly? Like,
Yes,
music.
that was before
.ly?
That was, like, more recent.
That's more recent.
We're talking
Okay,
about, like, 2011,
like,
really
YouTube-
long time ago.
YouTube, Vine, Musical.ly, TikTok, I'd say. And
Okay,
that, like,
but you're not talking about
realm.
music videos just on YouTube.
No, we
made them.
You would use the soundtrack to an original, like a song.
Mike was talking about this, and he's 35.
I think
30
it's just not for everybody, you know?
No, he literally was like, I just interviewed my Taylor's husband, my best friend Taylor. He's like a big shot director, and he was like, I started out by making these music videos, and I'm thinking like, oh, like he does now. And he's like, no, like a Tim McGraw song would play. I'm Tim. He's like,
Yes,
I'd be Tim
that.
McGraw.
Exactly that.
And I was
I'm
like,
Tim McGraw. I was Taylor Swift many times.
What? I was Lady Gaga personally.
okay. No, I guess that wasn't like what I was looking for, but I mean, I was on YouTube as a young kid, but like,
No, of course.
Okay,
Yeah.
I love.
So you play the song and we would edit. I mean, I wasn't the best at editing, but I thought that I was. I was like, I'm literally like, I'm going to work. Like,
You-
editing these
like,
videos.
don't talk to me, family. Have to put filters and text overlay.
Would you watch the actual music video and try to create the same vibe, or would you do like
No.
your own
Completely
different?
Oh,
different.
you'd write a story. I had friends over for
Oh,
play
yeah.
dates, and you would. I know you did too, and we would like do a story.
So
It's like, who's the love interest?
Yeah, writer, director, producer, like you were everything. I
Yeah.
was over here like, you are sad. I am happy. That's the story. Like,
I am
yes.
a pretty girl in it.
Yes.
And obviously, I'm the pretty one. Okay, everyone, places.
We're like, you're
okay.
gonna be the boy, and it's like, why not? Like, I wanted to be the girl.
I did this stuff with my sister. It just never got
sure.
uploaded to,
Yeah, like
to
acting
YouTube.
out.
But
Yeah.
yeah, we did this kind of stuff. Okay, funny.
So it was that, and then I remember one day I saw this girl, Juicy Star 07. I know some people listening know her, and she did a room tour, and that just opened the gates for us. Like the room tours, the makeup tutorial, a little bit.
Okay.
So I just had to backtrack a little.
No,
Yeah,
I love
it's funny.
that. Do you guys still have your music videos on YouTube, or have you guys done a clean sweep of your YouTube?
They were on
Long
both
gone.
on separate channels.
Yes.
Like, so then we like not deleted the channel, but like, you know, have it all privated and
Yes.
started a new one for the beauty and fashion of it all.
Yeah. What was
Yeah.
your username?
My original username.
No,
Oh,
the beauty one.
oh, my like, and then my beauty one was Brooke X Beauty was my like. you
Brooke
know,
X. Okay, that was ahead of your time. I feel like
That was well, people were putting like the X's in the names.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
You'd be like.
No,
yeah.
people still do that though
Yeah, I
now.
guess
Like
they
I
do.
mean,
Like Makeup
Makeup
XK.
XK.
Yeah.
When
Like,
I was telling
Yeah.
her, my channel was the Makeup by Danielle, or my current channel. That's what it's called technically.
Makeup by Danielle.
Yeah.
I love.
Yeah, we're big, huge
So
makeup
good at
girls.
makeup.
Huge makeup
It
girlies.
was literally with like Claire's makeup palettes, by the way.
Oh,
like, nothing
Drugstore,
crazy.
like, which is still great, but like, it was not like a professional slay glam. Like, it was like, you know, for 9th grade. Like,
Yeah. And when I started Instagram, by the way, like I had literally no money. And I just talked about this recently because I did a whole episode about influencing. And I was like, I made sure to never pigeonhole myself because like, well, I'm sure you guys can relate to this with YouTube because like you can get yourself in trouble sometimes if I have friends who are influencers who like have Birkins and Chanels and like live in these fabulous homes, but their whole shtick is that they find bargains and they're like beauty for less, bargains for less. I find dupes. And so they don't think it's very on brand for them to like show that they have like Chanels and stuff. And I've been on trips before where they're like, oh yeah, sorry, I just like can't get my bag in it. Cause like all I do is talk about how I love Target and I'm like, two things can exist at one time. You can love Target and bop at a Chanel in that bitch. Like what? And so I feel like people, I have like had all my followers be like, yeah, we remember when all you used to link was Forever 21 because I'm like, bitch, that's all I could afford. That's all I have money for. And I still fuck around with Forever 21, but like, you know, it's not like the majority of my closet anymore. But I think it's so funny to like look back and be like, this is all my like it to know. It was just like Forever 21, like TJ Maxx, if I could link it. Like it was just the progression of everything is funny to look back on. You're like, Claire's, we love it. Honestly,
those
a
were
vibe.
And like, we really had no idea what we were doing. I mean, like,
Does anyone when they're in 8th grade?
Yeah.
No.
That's the relatable likeness of it all. That you're
It
like,
was very
Yes,
sweet.
it was
but
wholesome.
yeah, I'll speak for myself. I did have an awkward stage still. Like it was still just on the internet. Like
very much so
okay.
same. I feel like the teens now are having no awkward
yeah,
phase.
you're
so
right.
awkward,
They're,
'cause
like they're
TikTok's
jumping right to
really
it.
accessible.
Yes.
Like everyone's just taking this.
Well, and the era of dupes, like we weren't able to like have that. We were buying the Claire's palettes and making it work. Like now they can like find things that are like Armani but not. And I'm like, that would have been nice to like have that accessible.
Or just even know that existed.
And honestly, good for them. I'm not hating on the like absolutely stunning and sometimes like overly attractive 12-year-olds. Like it's fine. Good for them.
And they're cooler probably than I'll ever be. But it's fine. I'm
it's
okay.
a different language though. I'm like, whoa, who are you?
Yeah, I know. Have you guys? Okay, I'm gonna bring this up before I make you guys go back to how you guys met personally.
Oh, right.
Have we heard about this? The millennial pause.
Yes. Sorry,
I brought this up. I brought
You've
this up
seen
to
this.
Danielle like a few months ago. Do you remember when I told you about
we were
this?
talking about it. I was kind of like, huh? And then the video.
And now it makes so much more sense.
It's so. Do you do it?
Okay, so I did a deep dive on it.
Okay.
In which, okay, guys, so if you're listening, this is this thing that's floating around on TikTok. It's called the millennial pause, and it's all these fucking little fucking Gen Zers, if you're listening, blah, who are like, oh my god, the millennial pause, I can't. But it's basically saying that millennials and or anyone older than that have this like pause before they start videoing, and they like show all these examples, which immediately I was like, I do that, where you like pause for a beat and then you start talking. And then I stumbled across this video of someone who was like, okay, so yes, I'm a millennial and I'm not trying to like stand up for myself here, but let's just make one thing clear. I'm also a content creator. She was basically a producer, Courtney. She's like, I film for a living, I edit for a living. She was like, TikTok is the only platform, the only one that, for whatever reason, I don't know why, but it's the only platform that the second you hit record, it actually starts recording you. If you record in your iPhone, like in the video, and if you record on Instagram in the video, if you record on literally any single thing other than just the TikTok app in the app, you have a moment where it does start, like where it goes 0.000 and then go. So we do that pause because we are fucking adapting to our surroundings, and we don't want it to sound like we're stupid boomers and sorry, not stupid, but like we're boomers, and we sound cut off at the beginning. So that's why we had this little pause. And she said that, and I was like, a fucking facts queen.
I actually like
so
that.
true. And she was like, so you guys can keep doing that if you want, but the only time it'll ever make sense is TikTok. So if you only record in TikTok, good for you. But if you're in any other platform, like you are going to be cut off in the beginning of your sentences. So like maybe you guys should have a millennial pause.
Yeah, sorry, we're just so good at every platform.
Sorry, we
Yeah,
just
we're
are
not-
good at every platform.
I have like, especially like with vlogging and stuff, you literally have to wait 1 second.
You
for,
do.
like, it to start recording.
And excuse the fuck out of us for breathing for a second, okay? You guys are putting a lot of stress on us. Like,
I
excuse
know.
us for taking a deep fucking breath.
When I learned about this, though, I did get insecure and start. Now, if I do like a brand deal or something on Instagram, I start chopping the beginning.
Well,
because I'm like, wait, I gotta cut out that pause.
sometimes.
Like,
you know what?
yeah.
I realize, and I don't know if this is a part of my own personal millennial pause, but I'm trying really hard to stop going, okay, so because that's my...
Every time.
People will
Me too.
message me and be like, I feel like I'm at my local Mexican restaurant ordering queso, because you're like, okay, so, and it's every slide.
I see what you're saying. I was like, what?
And it's every
I didn't know
slide.
you were going with that.
And it's every slide. Okay, so. I'm like, fuck. I'll take a large. Extra chips. So yeah, no, it's like everyone, because I personally record my slides. Like, you know, a brand deal will tell us we need like 15 second slides or whatever. So I record them individually and not realizing, because it's not a continuous 2-minute feed, that I'm starting everyone with, okay, so. And I'm like, oh, no. And so if people are watching them fast, it's just me going, okay, so. Like,
It's better than a lot of you have been asking, and that's like usually my phrase. So which is just, I just can't. I'm so over it at this point.
the fact of the matter is, people do be fucking asking.
They really do. And when I say a lot, it'll be like 5 people, but that's a lot. I'm like, wow.
That's our
5
phrase
people.
to each other. Like, we'll
I
be like,
agree.
oh yeah, like a lot of people are asking like if the podcast is coming out this week or not. And, like, how many people asked you? You're like, well, like 3, but
Let me
like
tell
a
you,
lot.
You guys care about your fans. If 5 fans are asking, you need to let them the fuck know.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Mine's okay guys.
Yeah.
I always do it.
100%. Okay.
Do that. I just say that.
Oh,
It sounds so
no.
okay, guys.
So-
I know what you're talking about.
I'm like, okay guys, so I'm like, oh.
All right, if you girly pops have been following me for a while, then you already know that I've been using Care vitamins for legit years. I think actually around 5 years. Now, I love these things for a multitude of reasons, and have gotten all my family to start taking them as well, because anytime I go home and they see my cute little personalized packs, they're like, wait, I need that. And it's great because outside of it being personalized with your name on the packets, like it literally says Shannon on the packet. I love it. It's completely personalized with what your body needs. You just take this easy, in-depth 5-minute quiz, and it asks you all about your body, your lifestyle, your day-to-day consumptions, and health goals. Now, this is the part, though. This is the part where we got to be honest. like how many drinks you have a week. And we all know we'd be having that wine. But it's great because like me, who be having that wine, in my pack, I get magnesium, which is helpful because you can be deficient in magnesium when consuming alcohol. It explains it all in this pamphlet they give you too. I love it. I've got ashwagandha in my pack as well for concentration. We've got B12 for energy, probiotics for my gut health. And everyone, I think I'm doubled up on my gut health too, the probiotic, because everyone wants good gut health. And I can see a serious difference in my digestion when I'm consistently taking my Cara vitamins. Each shipment comes with a customized pamphlet showing you exactly what's in your individual daily packs and why it was recommended specifically for you and your health goals, which was personalized by doctor-backed recommendation, taking all the guesswork out of what supplements are best suited for you. Because God knows I don't know any of this stuff, so we need the doctors to come in here. Also, for all of us trying to take care of sweet Mother Earth a little bit more, you can take comfort in knowing that Care of's daily vitamin packs are made of plant-based compositable film, so you can stress less about your impact on the environment. I am always traveling, as you guys know, so having these individual packs that are like already made up with everything I need in them is just so much more convenient than packing a bunch of different bottles of pills. And you'll already know that I hooked it up with a code. For 50% off your first Care of order, go to takecareof.com and enter code probably50. That's a whopping 50% off your first order that'll head straight to your door by heading to takecareof.com and entering code probably50. You're welcome. Also, I'm going to keep doing it in this podcast, and I'm not going to let myself be annoyed by it. But I'm like, okay, so back to how you guys met. But tell me how, as these teeny bopper, little, cute, precious children, how you guys met. Because it's one of my favorite stories that Danielle's told me.
Well, then you tell the story again.
It's like really dating. Like you tell the story.
No, I want to hear your perspective too. I want to hear it both.
Okay.
Well, it started out, you reached out to me. Like we were already following each other. And
I reached out to you?
About this meeting.
I was the
Okay, so let me start from the beginning. No, so we were following each other. We both made very similar videos, blah, blah, blah. And from what I remember, back in the day, you could message on YouTube, which you can't do anymore. Like direct, like DMs on YouTube.
Got it.
And the way I remember it is, Brooke DM'd me. Back then, I said I lived in Florida. I did not dare say Tampa. I didn't even say my last name. Neither did Brooke. Like, I knew she lived in New York. That's
was that
all
a
I
thing
knew.
because of
Like
privacy, because y'all were younger?
Yeah, and just we followed the format that everybody else did. And
right.
That's what everyone else went by a username, told the bare minimum with information.
Smart, by the way. I mean, you guys are very accessible, pretty
And
little
now-
girls. I mean,
and now I'm like, I live in Greenwich Village. My name's Danielle Carolan.
I mean, I know.
Basically give my social security number
Yeah,
at this point.
you
Like,
might
they've
as well
seen
have
it
it.
all.
I don't know why I tried to have any sort of anonymity because is that the right word?
Yeah.
Anonymity. Me fucking Nemo. Anonymity. I don't know why I even tried that though, because like you could literally find everything out about me on the internet. But like when I first moved to New York, you're right, I was following the format of everyone else, and I think I saw like Remy Bader post like the neighborhood she was moving to, and she's like, "Well, I'm just like moving somewhere else," and I was like, "Oh yeah, we're outside my neighborhood."
Yeah.
But now I'm like, I live in Soho. I honestly should have been flexing. I'm like, I live in fucking Soho.
I know.
But yeah,
you
no,
should.
I never said it either. But I see what you're saying. You like follow the platform.
So Brooke, again, this is what I remember now. I'm nervous.
Messaged
me. And
well,
was
it's
like,
possible that I messaged you first. It's unclear who messaged
Unclear,
who
and we can't go back
first.
and look.
No, because
That's so sad.
this whole plot. When did they just removed it one day? Like one day we woke up and like there's no more inbox. So I guess that's
Yeah.
They didn't let a
Also,
girl know.
mind you, we had already been like commenting on each other's stuff. It wasn't our first form of communication ever. And you messaged me and you were like, "Hey, like not to be creepy, but like you could kind of tell where I lived in Florida, and you were like, I think I'm coming there next week, wherever. Do you want to meet up?" That's what I remember.
No,
as.
that
you could
makes
tell I
sense
was
now,
in
yes.
Tampa,
Yeah.
and that's where you were coming with your mom.
Yes, so my mom used to work in Florida, and we would go all the time. Like, yeah,
Cool.
I know, and she got.
I feel like a
some-
lot of New Yorkers would go to Florida. Like they call them
very
snowbirds.
common.
Pipeline.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. Escape the cold, whatever.
Right.
But yeah, she had worked there, and I would like always just travel with her, and I was like, oh, a friend in Florida. Like, I guess I was
Yeah.
like, a little curious.
Also, your mom's so cool, being like, well, your mom actually,
Yeah.
I follow you. Your mom is fucking cool. So
Yeah,
I'm like,
no,
that's
like,
such
she
a
is cool.
that's such a vibe to be like, you want to come with me on my work trip to Florida? You're like,
Yes.
yes.
No, it's
And
so
she's like,
cool.
I'm pulling Brooke out of school. She always does well, anyways. Like, like what my mom would like tell me.
That's how she justifies it to the moms, the judgy moms.
Oh, I want to be that mom so bad because I'd always be like, Mom, can you just like, I actually saw this TikTok the other day that was like, it was like a lady in LA being like, text my 14-year-old daughter sends me, and it's like, come on, Jessica, pick me up. It's like, I want to hang out. Have you seen this, producer
wanna
Courtney?
hang.
It's like, I want to hang. Come on. She's like, can we get Erwan? Mom, please, can you check me out? I'm already doing good. I have an A in history, please. And I'm like, I'd be like,
dead.
okay, I want to hang out with my daughter.
You're like, okay, fine. If you think
Okay,
I'm that
fine.
cool, like you want to hang out with me.
So funny. Okay,
That
yeah.
is
So
very cool.
genius.
you guys ended up meeting out
We met up at this mall, the International Mall in Tampa. Have you ever been to
Shouts
Tampa?
out.
No.
Okay. Okay.
I've never been to the International Mall in Tampa. I've been to Tampa.
Okay.
Well,
it's one of the
magical.
greatest malls, like truly of all time.
It's just got
yeah.
good vibes, good restaurants.
They have everything
flowers.
from like designer to like, like it's just a great.
That is a great
phenomenal
mall then.
Ooh,
Yes.
sorry.
Do they
We do
have a
love it.
Cheesecake Factory?
Yep, Cheesecake Factory. Do you know the Nordstrom restaurants?
Then it's the mall for me.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Like the Zeal and all that, or
The-
Nordstrom E-Bar Cafe.
I feel like we have a Nordstrom Grill.
Okay, every city has like a
Same thing,
different,
but a
that
restaurant inside of
vibe.
Nordstrom, slay.
Yes, exactly. That's just what to me is a good.
I
mall.
agree.
And it was a very good mall. So we met up actually with our parents, or not our parents, our moms. Both
they
came
were
with
like,
us. Yeah, I think I had met people from the internet at this point though. So
I
that's.
hadn't.
I was the first one.
I mean, I think so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, look at
my God,
oh,
look at you.
first. I had like friends, like internet friends.
Now I'm like unsure. Now I'm insecure. I don't know.
well, there was more in New York, I think,
Yeah.
at that time.
Oh,
Like, I feel like it
probably.
was
And
probably
easier
more-
to meet up then because New York's like all one. And Florida's really spread out, obviously. So
Yeah.
it's
And
harder.
I was in 8th grade. I couldn't drive myself, so
Yes.
I think
True.
my mom was kind of like, "Yeah, I'm gonna come and meet her." I don't remember. It's so long ago.
Of course. I do remember, I feel like we spoke, like, my mom's going to come, by the way. KK, my mom's going to come
Yeah,
too. Like,
KK.
I feel like it was probably.
KK, she'll drive us if you pick us up.
Yeah.
So we
The
literally
vibes.
met in the food. At this point, we were like exchanging texts, like, I'm here, whatever. So we met in literally the food court. We both brought our moms, and I feel like then the moms were like, okay, like you girls have a fun day. Like after they confirmed that we were,
Friends.
who we said we
yeah,
were.
Yeah. Not a middle-aged man from like Milwaukee.
Yes.
You're like, okay, perfect.
But the thing with YouTube is like at least you could kind of verify that it's like
So true.
linked to videos and not like
True.
just an Instagram with just
Right.
photos of
Right.
someone, I
So
guess.
true. Yeah.
But what I think was like the cutest part, I don't know if you don't like when I tell this part,
Oh.
but we were gonna like walk around the mall.
Oh, I do
Brooke was
remember
like,
this.
I have a stomach ache. So we sat at the food court for like 2 hours. But
We did,
Like,
we
got along
talked.
so it was better because we talked.
For me personally, that was my favorite part of the story.
Yeah, I
she was
know.
like, "Well, we met up at the mall," because you told it like faster. Like you're like,
Yeah.
"We met at the
Yeah,
mall.
yeah.
Our parents were there. You Brooke had a stomach ache." So we didn't, and I was like, "Wait, so y'all met up at the mall, but y'all didn't go anywhere?" She's like, "No, her stomach hurt." So and I was like,
And that's when you know we were good friends though. We just chatted.
Yeah, we talked for like 2
But
hours
and
straight.
you know what? Now that we're adults, we understand this.
Yeah.
But like as young kids, like there could have been me. I'm like, think about what would have happened if you were like popping into Abercrombie and trying to seem cool. Like, yeah, I have that shirt too. And it's like you're going to Claire's and you're like, shit, I get this. It could have been a totally different dynamic than just two kids like
Having a
sitting down and
Being
having
wholesome.
a conversation. Very wholesome.
It is like everything happens for a reason. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, we're like
yeah.
IBS for a reason. I'm kidding. I'm not putting IBS on you.
No, I used to have like stomach problems when I was like in middle school and everything. Like I would be like, I don't know.
I
Anybody else when you're
still
growing
have
up?
stomach
No, I feel like you have like hormone things when you're growing up and whatever. I don't know.
Well,
yeah.
and you don't know how to like navigate things like that. I'm.
You're like,
I just had a
let me get
really
into it.
random like memory unlocked. I'm like I was gonna say you have to navigate. You don't know how to like navigate your body at that age. So
Yeah.
a stomach ache can put you down.
Oh.
You're like my tummy
Down for
hurts.
the count.
But I just this really weird memory memory unlocked. That's really actually kind of weird and cringe. But whenever I started my period kind of late. I was like, or I don't know, but I feel like all my friends had started their period first. I started mine when I was like 16.
Okay. Yeah.
And I obviously like I was like very nauseous, like I had cramps, and I only associated that feeling with being like sick, like I'm gonna throw up sick, not like I have stomach cramps sick, right? And so I was like my mom was like so sweet, she's like, it's okay, like just take a hot bath, like put a heating pad on. And I remember I like called my mom, I was like, hey, she's like, hey, I'm like, can I drink milk? And she's like, if you want, like, if you feel, yeah, what do you, is there milk in the fridge? Or like, why are you asking? And I was like, my stomach hurts so bad. Like, I just didn't know, like, should I drink milk? Because I guess maybe growing up, my mom, if I had a stomach ache, didn't want me to drink milk. I don't know
yeah.
why, like dairy.
Yeah.
But I was like, can I drink milk? And she was like, yeah, you could drink. But it's like goes to show how much you don't know when you're
Yeah, so
younger.
true.
You're
It's
just
my
like, you're like,
tummy-
my stomach hurts. I have to sit here for a second. Honestly, I should sit the fuck down when I have stomach ache more often now that I'm an adult. But like, yeah, it's just
literally.
funny how you don't know how your
How
body
to deal
is.
with your
so you're
body.
like,
Now I'm like, okay, just take a Tums and get over it.
Yeah,
Like,
like,
you know?
yeah. Come on, take a shot.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, like take a shot. I am absolutely devastated that I don't have Fireball and carrots for you guys. And in case you guys do not, the small chance that you guys don't follow and love Danielle and Brooke as much as I do, then I have to tell you that Brooke, and I cannot wait to, you guys don't have this beautiful stance that I have where I can see producer Courtney's face while we're recording, but I
I'm so
love when
honored.
she reacts to stuff, and I want to see how she reacts to Danielle's favorite shot is a shot of Fireball with a chaser. A lot of people take chasers. Her chaser is baby carrot.
She goes.
Baby carrot. Interesting. I have personally done this, so I'm gonna give our origin story now about how we met.
Yeah.
And And so Brooke has the most fabulous apartment ever. And
thank you.
I am invited to a pregame. Margot Austrie, it's her birthday. I had just moved to New York. New York is a scary place to move to. Like in general. And I'm not even going to go down my rabbit hole of like, I'm a failure. I didn't do New York right. Cause we've been there. We've done it for a couple episodes, whatever. I didn't lean into New York as much as I should have. However, when I first thought like I'm gonna be here all the time, I was like, okay, I gotta meet people. I've been doing stuff. I was very lucky. I had like a few people in my life who added me to group chats and were like, oh my God, this is our friend Shannon. She's so cool. You should meet her and hang out with her. And I somehow got invited to your pregame very kindly. And I was like, I literally don't know a single person because I was going to Margot Austrie's birthday party, who I know Margot and her sister at this point very like briefly, but I know them, but they weren't at the pregame. Right. They were meeting us at the birthday party, right at the venue. So I was like, you're gonna go to the pregame with all these influencers in New York. I'm like in this apartment. I'm like, you're gonna go. At this point, it's pre-bedless Dutchman, so there's no furniture in here. Like there's no. I'm just like, okay, this is a theme. It's glitz and glam or something. I don't remember that. Yeah. And I'm like, you're gonna go. And so I go to this pregame. I see Kit Keenan in the elevator, and she's like, hi, oh my God, we're walking up. And I was like, oh thank God, there's like another human in the elevator with me. And so I walk up, and then the doors open, and I don't know a soul. I know everyone based on like seeing their faces and knowing their influencers in New York, but I'm like, I don't know. And me, I'm always doing the fucking most of my outfit. So I'm like, my titties are out. I'm wearing this giant shirt.
That outfit was amazing. Yeah, I was like, wow, she really embodied the theme. Yes. I mean, wore the gloves. Well, that kind of ties into the story. Yeah.
Okay, hear me out. I want us to all think back to sex ed for a second. It's absolutely drilled into our heads how to prevent pregnancy. But what about when it's time to plan for it? I feel like we're taught that we're supposed to go to the OBGYN once a year for our annual checkups, but checking in with our fertility, it's usually not a thing until we're ready for kids. And then sometimes not even then. More times than not, we aren't checking in with our fertility until we find ourselves struggling to get pregnant, unfortunately. We are no longer living in a day and age where we have to just wait and see. Why not just find out sooner? Knowledge is power. And when you know more, you can make better decisions for your body, your health, and your future. And that's exactly why modern fertility was created. It's an easy and affordable way to test your fertility hormones at home with a simple finger prick. I actually did this a few years ago with Modern Fertility when I was 25, and the prick is honestly not bad at all. I've just done it again now that I'm 29 because I'm just curious about my body as I'm aging, and they make it so easy too. You just mail in the sample you take with a prepaid label, and then you'll get your personalized results within 6 business days. It's super easy and quick. What you get back is really cool too because they give you insight into your hormone levels, like your ovarian reserve, aka if you have more or fewer eggs than average for your age, and other important factors that can really impact your fertility. The results go really deep into what every hormone means, so if you're like me and didn't really understand the verbiage, don't worry, they break it all down really nicely for you. Also, you can download the results and share them with your doctor, which is nice. Traditional hormone testing at a fertility clinic can cost over $600, but Modern Fertility tests the same general set of hormones for only $179. Oh, and you can get reimbursed for the test through your FSA/HSA. Right now, Modern Fertility is offering my listeners $20 off the test when you go to modernfertility.com/probably. That means your test is only going to cost $159, which is a fraction of what it would cost at a fertility clinic. Get $20 off your fertility test when you go to modernfertility.com/probably. That's modernfertility.com/probably. You guys, do you see how my next sentence is going to be like, I immediately felt welcome because like, I'm like, oh. And then, I just walk in and you're not from the South, you're from New York, but like, I just felt this like welcoming, homey, just like feeling. And again, your apartment is fabulous. Yeah, and so everyone's vibing, I'm chatting, whatever. We do a fireball carrot shot. Yes. I was so perplexed and confused, but it was great. And then, I have to tell the story because I was about to tell producer Courtney earlier when they got here because Brooke needed a safety pin. And I was like, I was so hoping you were going to ask for something else because my origin story for meeting Brooke, I make sure because me, like a Southern lady, I was like, hey, who is Brooke? I knew Brooke was hosting the pregame. Yeah. Had we met before?
No, we never. This was like the first time I remember. They're like, Shannon Ford's coming. Honestly, I didn't like. I knew of you from
I'm
like
sure
10 scene people, but like I didn't really. I was like, okay, like
sure,
she has
sure.
red hair. Like I didn't know
like
for the red hat.
Another tick on the roster. Like perfect. Another person's coming. Great. And so I was like, I made sure to ask someone like, whose apartment is this? I want to make sure like I say thank you for inviting me. Like this is so nice, whatever.
Southern lady.
Bless her.
A little Southern lady. And so they were like, Brooke, that girl right there. I'm like, perfect. So I go over. I think I like introduce myself, say thank you for having me. It's so sweet, whatever, nice. And then I'm like, I'm going about my day, and it's what month? It's cold. It's February.
It was
May.
But like
Her birthday's
cold
in
May.
May. Yeah.
Early May.
God, sorry, Margot, for not remembering your birthday, but also like,
cold.
fuck, it was so cold. It was May.
First
It
week
was
of May,
cold and
maybe.
rainy.
Yeah, I
Oh,
do
it was
remember that.
pouring rain.
It was
I
like
remember.
really freezing and rainy. Yes. Okay. Wow. Not a vibe. Sorry, Margot, for your birthday weather, but I, the weather girl herself. So
Yeah, literally.
I remember I had this like tiny little black dress on, but I had this jacket that I knew I'd be wearing all night because it was cold.
Yeah.
And I like get to this pregame, and I remember after I like meet Brooke, do a couple shots, do whatever. I remember I didn't put deodorant on. And for me personally, I don't know about you guys, like I think body odor is a direct reflection of like what you put into your body, and I do not put anything good into my body really. So like I just like don't like
For reference.
like I need to wear deodorant. Like I just like I'm the girly pop that's got to put deodorant on, okay? And it's just not a vibe if I don't. Like I am a stinky girl if
You're
I don't have it on.
self-aware.
And I'm not a stinky girl. I'm not a dirty person, but like I am a girl that she puts deodorant on in the morning and she's Gucci the whole day. But
Yeah.
like if
Okay.
I don't, I'm like, oh, heavens to Betsy, I didn't put deodorant on. This is
Phrases are sending
learning so
me.
many.
Yeah.
this is not good. And so I remember I didn't put deodorant on. I had this big fur jacket on, and this,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, we're in the club with everyone. Like this is gonna be bad news bears. So I'm like, what do I do? And I'm like, you gotta do that thing where you're cute and funny, and you ask the host for deodorant. Like you gotta just ask. And me personally, a lot of people say this is my serial killer trait, but I use gel deodorant.
Oh,
Not powder,
interesting.
because like I think it doesn't like get on your clothes and transfer as much, and I just like gel deodorant. A lot of people don't like it. Anyways, all that being said, I know deodorant's a very personal product. Okay, like I'm very aware of
Yes.
that. So I was like, this is gonna be a big ask. Like this is gross, and this is a weird fucking ask. But I was like, I'm just gonna have to do it. So yeah, I walked up to Brooke and was like, hey, I will order on Amazon this very second to your address a replacement, and you can like literally tell everyone I'm the grossest human alive, but I just like literally have to ask you if you have deodorant. And she's like, yes. She's like, somewhere in there. And I'm gonna tell you something that I've never
Told me.
told you before.
Oh God. Were you like going through my drawers or some shit?
You were. Before I asked you, I thought I'll find her deodorant in her bathroom, and I went in
When
your
you went to
bathroom.
pee.
I didn't snoop too
No,
much, and
that's
this
okay.
is really rude because like I was a guest in your home, but I opened your like some cabinet and like looked for deodorant 'cause
Underneath
I
the
was,
sink or something.
I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
just gonna use it and never tell you.
I probably would
No,
have done the
honestly,
same thing.
I could not find it.
But I would have literally never known. And you know, you're alive. You said you've never snooped through someone's like, you know, bathroom
Well, not
products
even snooping,
before.
it's like, oh, I
if
need
you
some
need it,
perfume. Like,
yes.
I know
Just
they've got it.
Yeah, like oh, they have
something.
lotion. Okay, like I'm gonna take a little
Oh,
pump. Like,
lotion's
you know?
a great one
Yeah.
because like if you're ashy or something, you're like, I need lotion.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just here to tell you that I like briefly looked, and I'm not like I wasn't gonna like go through all your stuff. Plus, like I was in the bathroom in a very full house. I couldn't like spend too long, and I was like, I can't find the deodorant. I gotta ask her. And so then I asked you, and you were so nice. Let me use your deodorant.
Of course, I forget the. So was it native? Did
It
I
was
give you
native, and you were like, just so you know, some people don't like this, but it's organic. And I was like,
Oh, yes.
or whatever they
Yeah,
call
yeah,
it, natural.
You're probably like, I do not care.
I was like, literally anything.
yeah.
that as long as that
It
works.
was really nice, and I really
Amazing.
appreciate that. And I think people are probably tired of hearing that story because anytime I met people and I'm like, oh my God, I love Brooke. Do you know what I asked Brooke the first time I met her? And she's so nice. It was really sweet.
I will say you're the reason now why I stock spray deodorant in my home.
As you should.
Because
Genius.
no, but I started using it too because Danielle got me on it actually.
That's
But
what
then
I
I thought
use,
about it. I
yeah.
was like, this is something that as a host, I should have in my home. Like,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Okay,
Like a
first of all, you absolutely should not have stock deodorant. Like, this is a bar, and you're like, you should have a bathroom attendant at your bathroom, hand some paper towel to people, has a tip jar. No, you should not have
like a
deodorant
club.
people.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
genuinely such a weird ask, and I just appreciate you being like so chill. And you're like, oh my God, you're fine. And you're not even from the South. You're from North. I mean,
Yeah,
The
no,
New York.
of course.
you're from Jersey, right?
I'm from New York,
New
Long
York.
Island.
Long
Yeah.
Island.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Long
not
Island.
Jersey. But there's
Yeah.
a difference.
That's I mean, I'm
There's
fine
a-
with it. Some people like claim their territory. They're like, oh, don't insult me. You know, like
You're like, those are the people
Yeah.
that you're like, you're definitely from New York.
Yeah,
You.
for sure.
For sure. Okay, so I was just gonna say that you guys are very welcoming and kind, and then I wanted to. Okay, so that was my first impression of both of you. Obviously, I had met you before through Margot.
Oh, you
and
guys had met?
Kellyanne, or was that the
Oh.
first time we met too?
But maybe you followed each other or something.
I thought that was our first time meeting, but now I'm like,
Danielle, that
blanking.
might have been the first time we met,
follow
but
each
we
other,
hung
maybe?
out quickly after because of Kelly and everyone else. Okay.
Yes.
So that was our origin story. And then everyone, whenever I asked on Instagram, like what they're like, I have to know what their first impression of you guys was. Was yours the deodorant for me? Like that's a weird
I
girl.
remember you were like very like extra, like, but like in such a way that I was like, shit, like she's so fucking cool, you know? Like
Oh,
no,
that's really
seriously,
nice.
like you came in like so hot and so like put together and everything. I was like, Shannon Ford, like she is Shannon Ford. Like, I don't know, like you gave me like celebrity energy, like very much so.
I'll pay you later.
She took the words out of my mouth. I remember because I had followed you. It was like someone's birthday party. Maybe it was Serena Kerrigan's or something. And I was in town. And you were on everyone's story that night. And I was like,
Claudia
this
was
girl's so cool.
like tatting my lower back.
Yes, it was something you were like bent over. I don't know.
Serena was like licking
getting
my
after
butt,
it.
and I was like repost.
No, and I was like, this girl is so cool. She's taking New York by storm. Oh my gosh. So when you walked into Brooke's apartment, I was like, she's here, and she looks fabulous.
Stop!
And you know, Brooke said it best. Like, you really are you. Like, you walked in and you were so nice. Like, you took that Fireball show with the baby carrot so fast. I was like, that made me feel so complete.
We'll always take a shot.
And you were taking tequila shots with Kenzie too,
you're
weren't
like
you?
so down. Yes.
Yeah,
with
you're
Kenzie.
so
So here's
cool.
the thing. Here's the thing about having a shtick, right? My shtick, alcohol, kind of. And so, like, if you're gonna have a shtick, you have to know that, like, if you're in a room full of influencers, and I'll never forget this about that particular pregame. Everyone was like, "Hi!" It was like being on an episode of The Bachelor. With like, "Can I steal you for a second?" But they wanted to film a TikTok. Do you remember what I'm talking
That
about?
wasn't normal, by the way. Or at least for our pregame.
Yeah,
Well, I've never been
sometimes
to
my apartment tends to be the one that I feel like,
Yeah, it's got
like
good
I don't know,
lighting.
It's like
why
content
they
creation,
just,
but I was like, I'd be in a conversation with someone and someone would be like, and I'm not talking shit because I also filmed,
No,
I
it
think,
was
like,
fun,
I think I filmed like 3 TikToks on there. The content was like amazing.
Yeah.
But like, it would be like, hey, can I steal you for a second to be in this TikTok where like all the 3 girls like were sexting? I'm like, yeah, people are going in the hallways for
hallways.
one, the bathroom for some. And then because, like I said, if you have a shtick, just be prepared for the shtick to be utilized. And you were like, well, you didn't ask me. I think I was like, oh, Fireball and Baby Kira, that's so fucking weird, but okay, I'll do it. And then Kinsey was like, hey, you love tequila. Will you do like this TikTok with tequila? And I was like, duh. And so I like do a tequila shot for the TikTok. And then Serena was like, hey, I had this idea for a TikTok where we both just like grab tequila. And I'm like, perfect. I showed up to Margot's party fucking lit. I was litty fucking titties.
Sure.
I was like, perfect. Like I just did so. I'm like, everyone was like, oh, Shannon, she'll take a shot of tequila. And I'm like, I'll obviously take a shot of tequila. So yeah, no, that party was great.
Do you get like stomach issues the next
talking
day? Like,
about stomach issues.
I
big
I
female.
get like when I mix like that. Woof. Like,
So the only thing I mixed was the 1 shot of Fireball. I didn't drink
then
anything
you
else.
just did tequila.
I agree. I stick to one thing. I think, I'm like, just helping the youth. If you're young and you're listening to this and you're just beginning your alcohol journey, just stick to one.
Yeah.
I used to hear all those phrases that were like, liquor before beer, you're in the clear, beer before liquor, never been sicker. I'm like, here's the really just like one-off phrase you can stick with. Just do one alcohol. If you're drinking vodka, drink vodka. If you're drinking tequila, drink tequila. Don't mixy, okay? And so, I just drink tequila, but I will say the thing about tequila is a natural diuretic. So tequila is like that weird alcohol where it's the only alcohol that's, or like organic. It comes from a plant, not like a grain. So it's like,
so it's like basically a salad.
so we're drinking salad.
Yeah.
First of all, it's a smoothie. That's
Okay,
just
it's a
like clear.
cleanse.
It's
green.
Okay.
So we're on a cleanse. We're on a cleanse.
tequila equals cleanse.
Yeah, it's why it got really trendy in the past few years because everyone's on this like healthy journey and it's like from agave and it's the lowest calorie. It's like all these like buzzwords, right?
Yeah.
And so, but the one thing about tequila is it's a natural. Do you ever hear like not old wives' tales, but like back in the day, like dentists would give their patients whiskey, right, to help with pain.
This, yes.
And then like tequila, like they would give for like constipation and stuff. Like it's a natural diuretic,
Whoa.
which means like laxative. So I will say there are many times after a night out where I'm like, oh god, I
the dads.
the commercial that's
The
like
dads.
gotta go right now, where you're like,
Yeah.
I've got to fucking go, and every time I'm like, that's tequila.
That's tequila.
I
That's
honestly
tequila.
like, this is gonna be TMI, but I love that cleanse feeling after a night out of drinking. Like
Oh,
honestly,
no
you
problem.
yeah,
Like,
like you
I-
feel like, yeah.
I always say this. I'm like, you're old when you're at the age where like diarrhea doesn't really bother you. You're like, this is good. I would rather have that than constipation.
It's such a satisfying feeling.
very much
Well,
so.
and I mean, you know what?
God.
Maybe it's not an age thing. It's a female,
graphic.
and I'm actually not the girl that likes to talk about poop. I'm not. When people talk about it too much, I'm like, okay, just less of that. But like, I will say, I think it might be a female thing that like we go on vacation. We're like, I haven't pooped in 3 days.
Such a
We're with our
thing.
boyfriends. We're like, I haven't pooped. So like, I am always welcoming a cleanse out of the system.
Yeah,
like,
me too.
Yes, it's terrifying for like the 3.5 minutes that it takes place, but afterwards I'm like,
sweating,
I'm
like,
skinny as a
fighting for
fucking
your life.
no.
Cold shakes.
Have you ever just like talked to yourself? I asked Taylor, my best friend, the other day. I go, have you ever had to like talk yourself through it? You're like, you're okay, it's fine. I'm like, I literally talk to myself sometimes, and I hear myself, and I'm like, bitch, you're fucking weird. But and then 3 minutes is over, and you're like, first of all, I'm gonna go try on that pair of jeans that I wasn't sure fit me. I'm like, I'm skinty as a needle, and that was great for everything. But those 3 minutes they're tough.
Sometimes I have to like, this is so weird. I've never shared this, but I'll have to like turn the lights off. I'm
Oh.
like, I can't. Like,
Oh,
it's,
I get full.
it's like a thing. I'm like, oh my god.
Well, I have to. I texted one of my friends one time and said she was like, you haven't answered my 3 calls. I said, sorry, I just had one of those bathroom moments where I had to get fully naked. I said I took my
Sorry. Naked and lights off. I'm so sorry, but I've never felt more seen. In college, my roommate would be like, what is going on?
No,
I'm like,
I
"Oh, Mom."
literally had to take everything off, and I texted my friend. I go, it got so bad. I said I took my rings off. I took my
Everything.
rings
Oh,
off.
you were like,
I
bare.
was like,
Yeah.
it's constricting me.
No,
like,
literally
off.
everything.
Wow.
Off.
I don't think I've ever had to get naked, but I do sometimes like a shower
normal.
afterwards to fully like where I'm like,
That's
I'm
very
like, I'm
normal.
That's when I
fucking
want a
gross,
bidet.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, where I'm like, wow, like that took it out of me.
No,
Oh my God.
shower is not an I've been seen moment. That's just like a very cleansed, like men would be like, that's like ideal. You poop then you shower. Like me, I'm
Yeah.
always in the shower. Like,
Oh my god,
No,
all guys
yeah.
do that.
They
feel.
do. They
really
do.
just like, oh,
They're
good.
like shit and shower.
They also take forever.
Yeah, I was gonna
but-
say when they take like an hour in the bathroom, hopefully they're doing both. 'Cause,
Oh,
yeah.
I always tell
Literally.
men, I'm like, literally. So my mom is like, like the old thing, like we're really calling my dad out here. She's like, oh, your father will take the newspaper in with him. And I'm like, I'm like, he'll take his phone in there with him. Like, it's like generations. Men are always the same. Generations pass. Like technology prevails, men always the fucking same. Because newspapers, iPhones, I said, you're gonna get a fucking hemorrhoid. If you sit on the toilet too long like that, you're literally gonna get a hemorrhoid. So
too long.
just get off the toilet. It's too long.
Have you ever seen those things too? It's like if your man takes the phone to the bathroom, like don't trust him, ladies. I'm like, sometimes
That
they
cannot be
yeah,
real.
I know. Sometimes they want material. Sometimes I sit on the toilet and I want material.
Have
Like
you-
everybody wants
I
material,
always
when,
want
right?
material.
Yeah.
Have
I'll
you
go
seen
pee
the-
and I bring my phone.
100%.
Yeah.
Have you seen the throwbacks where it's like shit I used to do as a kid, and it's like, and I can't explain why, and you're on the toilet and you're reading a shampoo bottle? You're just like sitting there reading
Yeah,
the
and you're like,
ingredients of the
something to
shampoo
do.
bottle because you're like, duh, I have to have something. That's
No,
wow.
that's so true.
Okay, I need to give you guys a compliment really quick. Sorry to just absolutely shift topics from poop to compliments, but
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm trying this thing where I like read my list of notes because when I actually have real friends on the podcast, I'll be like, "Blah, blah, blah," and then I'll be like, oh my God, I wrote notes. I wrote notes. Okay, I wanted you to know, and I actually talked about this in another podcast of mine. Producer Courtney can attest, where my only, like, I try not to give myself too many like goals for the year because I don't want to like I hyper fixate on things, so I'm like try not to do that. So I just want to like hope like the year goes great. And so one thing though that I like really gave myself as like a goal was live shows. And I said on my last podcast, I was like, I've always said that, like honestly, like people listening are probably like, oh, she wants to do live shows again. She said that last year. Like I think like literally two years ago, I was like, and just know this year we're going live, baby. I don't. And then I don't because I'm like intimidated. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to figure it out, whatever. Y'all's live shows inspired me, like motivated me, just like, and I wasn't even in attendance. Like I just like what I saw in the response, I just was so enthralled by the community you guys have, and like your followers are just like, if you guys don't listen to Gals on the Go podcast, like you have to go listen because the people
Shannon.
that have showed up for you guys and are just so excited for it, I was like, I want to feel that way. Like it was so inspiring. I just think it looked like the funnest thing ever. Like your photos, the like before and after, the posts people were posting that you guys are reposting. I was just like, everyone went there and just had the time of their lives. Like I want to give that to people. So I was so inspired and like motivated by you guys.
Wow.
So
I'm glad you were like motivated because it's so, not that you would be this way, but sometimes I'll get like, sometimes I'm motivated or sometimes I'm jealous, and it's so nice when you feel inside you're like, I want to do that.
no,
now.
and it's so true because especially, and I was talking about this with Alex on the last podcast. Like you can have this feeling where you're like, someone can like trigger you, and I've done better about like, like this, it's not their fault. Like these people are doing great things, but like I have a couple influencers muted because I'm like,
Please. Are you kidding?
Brooke's better at it than I.
No,
I need to
no.
do better at muting.
I
but-
just
I have a list. Yeah.
I have to mute because I find myself being triggered, and like I used to be embarrassed to say it, but like there are people that make me feel like I'm not doing enough, and that's not their fault. They're just doing great things. And I have this like I keep hearing, I know it's a buzzword, but like imposter syndrome. And I asked producer Courtney the other day, I was like, what is that? Because surely I have it, but like what is it? And she was
Surely.
like, we like looked it up, and it's like where you feel like you're like not. So you're where you're at, but you're not really meant to be there. Like so I don't have that. I fully feel like I should be where I'm at. I'm like, yeah, you earned it, girly pop. You did it. But like, I look at other people and I'm like, oh, fuck. Should I be doing that? I'm like, oh, they're on a brand deal to Dubai. I don't think I should be doing that, but I just saw that. Like, but like, I'm like, oh, fuck. Should I be? So like, I get this like, I don't harbor resentment, but I harbor these like feelings of like less than,
Like,
and
am
I'm
I
like,
behind?
yeah, and I realize like that's not probably a good thing for you to consume, and they're doing great, and I'm so excited for people. Maybe one day I'll unmute them, but like right now, I just like that's making me feel like I am not doing enough, like, and so it's
you're inspiring
triggering.
me.
Yeah,
I need to do more because there's been a few triggers this week. I'm like, oof, like this is just not good for my mental health.
yeah, because you know what? Anytime that I would try, I'd be like, oh, she does that, I should do this too. It's like the content's not going to be good because I'm acting on this like impulsive need to do what someone else is doing because I view that as like the hierarchy of like whatever the reason. Like I looked at y'all's and I was like, I felt just like inspired, like
I'm
inspired,
so glad. Like that makes us so
I just
happy.
wanted to like, and I really more people should admit stuff like that because no, it's not like I want to copy your whole show. I just was like, oh my gosh, I want to be able to make people feel that way. The way that I could tell just
And
on
you
Instagram
will.
alone.
Oh, you're gonna knock it out of the park. Like it's perfect. Yeah.
The outfit.
I'm
No, but
ready.
I can tell that people so thoroughly enjoyed your live show. You guys have 3 coming up, right?
Yeah.
And
Four.
We just
Yeah,
added,
they had to add one, baby. I'm
Yes.
inspired. Okay, wait. Where are the shows?
So 2/8 is Atlanta, and then that sold out. So we added 2/9 Atlanta as well.
per.
And then I guess I'll do 2/15.
Yes.
February
Orlando.
15th.
Sorry, that's what I see in my brain. So I'm like, I can't even like visualize it as February. I'm like,
February
it's 2/15.
Yeah.
2/15.
At
Okay.
2:15 p.m.
No, it's
I was like, I'll follow the
February
part. You sound like my college counselor. She'd be like, okay, February 1, it's due.
Oh yeah.
You know, like
100%. I have trauma.
Jan 1.
I'm triggered.
Oh my
I'm
god.
just so businessy.
I know,
Sorry.
love that
She's
for
a
you.
corporate girly.
Yeah, so February 15th is Orlando, and then February 16th is Tampa, and I'm so excited for Tampa.
I love
obviously,
it.
And Atlanta and Orlando.
Okay, well, you guys go to the show because, like I said, purely what I just saw in like the response and how people felt, like I just was like, I want to make people feel that way. They made people feel so like happy and excited and just like entertained. So I'm very proud of you guys. I hope I can go to one of these shows. I would love to be there and
Yeah,
see
you
it
need
in
to
person.
come.
Let's do a Nashville show.
At some
Like, we
point.
got so
Yeah,
many
I
comments,
know.
Do
so.
a Nashville show. Oh wait, that was one of the questions. Someone's like, can you ask them if they're adding Nashville to the list? So
Oh,
we
not
need
this
to,
time. I know.
the cries are crying. So
It's
maybe,
a whole thing. You need to ask us questions because we learned a lot throughout the process.
okay, maybe
Yes.
that's the reason I'm intimidated too. Because I'm like, people are like, what would you do and where would you? I'm like, I don't even know where the fuck to start. So
Yeah, I know, it's a lot,
I hate
but
to be
it's
this
worth
bitch,
it.
but
Yeah. You
and
kind of announce it and then you plan. That's what we did. We were like live show and then we're like, wait, let's plan the show
Yeah.
now. Like, we worked
Yeah.
backwards.
And I'm like
Yeah.
the girl who cried wolf now because no one believes me. I'm like, it's reality live shows. People are like, bitch.
I know
where?
you're
So-
going to.
Okay,
I
that's
know
my
you're going to.
one
Yeah.
goal for this year. Okay, because you love to talk corporate, I have this question that, like, for my own, like, because I feel like when I graduated college, so you guys both went to the University of Georgia.
Yes.
Go Dogs.
Go.
I would never say that, but because you won the national championship and you weren't playing the University of South Carolina, go Dogs. So did you guys ever have any like plans to do a job? Or because I know y'all were doing YouTube Young, so someone also asked us, and I was like, that's a great question because I'm curious. Did y'all ever think like, yes, I do YouTube, yes, I do this, but like whenever I like leave college, like I got this degree and I'm gonna go corporate, or were you guys always like, I still want to be like influencer, entertainment, like that world?
I got a job. I'm 2 years older than Danielle. I feel
Okay.
like I keep saying that. So we started our podcast 2018, graduated in 2019. So we were doing the podcast, doing YouTube, and I did feel that. I was like,
I worked at a law firm, hated it, but I was like, I have to get like a job. Like
you
that
feel,
was a big
yes,
job.
it was more like the societal pressure. I
It
will say, but
was, yeah.
Also financial a little bit too at that time, but I was more like, no, I got a marketing degree. Like, I'm going to use it, you know? Like,
I dropped
feel-
out of college and my parents were like, bitch, you gotta get a job. And I was like, I'm gonna get a job for sure.
Like, that's what adults do, right? They
Yeah,
get a job.
100%,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, cosplaying as an adult.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for like cute pencil skirts.
Yeah, literally. I worked actually the same job that Kellyanne worked. I worked
Okay.
in sales at Oracle, but different office in Boston. Yeah.
Oracle, not Orkin.
Oh, why? Was that a
She
thing?
went on and on about her job at sorry. She did.
No.
First of all, I didn't let her fucking speak in our podcast. She's actually the person I was talking about in the last episode with Alex. If you listened to the previous one, like, so sorry again, Kelly. I'll let you talk in the next one. Sorry, I was on Adderall. But she was talking about how she was corporate before she left to pursue makeup, which is a big fucking leap of faith, right? And it was really important. I should have talked more about it. But I working on it every day. She was saying Oracle, and I was like, God, I didn't realize they had such a corporate office. Blah, blah, blah. Do you guys know the bug spray company called Orkin?
No.
They like spray like for like
So you were
bugs and
thinking
rodents.
Is it for like outside of your house?
No, I
or,
mean,
like,
I knew Kelly Ann wasn't wearing like the backpack and spraying, but I was like, I guess she's like, you know, like like doing the scheduling, and like it's a big company. And she was like, you know Oracle, right? And I was like, no, I don't know Oracle. And she's like, you don't know what Oracle is? Because it's a huge company. And I was like, no, I know what Oracle is, like the bugs. And she was like, no. And then I don't know who figured out. It was probably producer Courtney. She was like, Orkin. You're thinking of Orkin. And I was like, oh.
Well,
there was a lot of commercials.
No, that makes
Working
sense.
too.
Yeah, I
Okay,
did
so-
work there. I got recruited on LinkedIn. Honestly, I never heard of it either. But then I was like, no, it's like one of the biggest tech companies like
It is.
ever.
It is. I learned.
Yeah, and I just felt like it made sense. for
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Like I was like, oh well, I'm graduating, like, you know, sales, like I'm outgoing, whatever. I was literally terrible at this job. Like I was not good at it. I should not.
I
have
feel
been-
you.
Yeah.
Me in the corporate world, I'm like, I'll fucking crush this. I tried to get a job aside from corporate. I tried to get a job as a waitress, and they were like, "What's your experience?" I was like, "I'm a people person." So
Yeah. So
Yeah.
And they're like,
So
"When you
they're
just
like,
think you're gonna crush something," and they're like, "Hey, so no, this is Nashville. Like you have to have experience." And I was like, "What?"
that's
Okay.
funny. Okay.
Yeah, but you think you're just gonna be like, "Great, I love the enthusiasm." I had that too.
Yeah. So it was a very short-lived stint, like literally like a few months, and I quit like so early that I was like, okay, this is like a really big risk because I can't even like list it on a resume. Like if I ever needed a job again,
Right.
so it was definitely like a thing that I was like, oh, I don't know if this makes sense. But the podcast we signed with Podcast One at that point.
Amazing.
Yeah, work stuff was like on YouTube and everything was going well, but I also felt weird about that because I was showing my like work week in my life and talking about how I was like post-grad and like working and like, you know, managing all these things, and people fell
We're
in love with
loving
my
it
content because of that.
Yes. Ooh.
Yeah. So that created a lot. I think like some people started to despise me when I quit the job because they were like, you know, okay,
They're
this
like
girl,
not
you know.
relatable, but I'll tell you what the fuck is relatable. Getting a corporate job, not feeling like you like it, love it, or anything. And you could be very inspiring to a lot of people who should quit. I know some people are like, I've been in this job for 5 years. I hate my life. It's giving me anxiety and depression. I don't know how to quit. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm such a quitter. I can't relate. I'm such a quitter. Like I'm happy to quit. So like it's very inspiring for those people that need to, like, if you don't love something, if you don't like something, I talk about it. I talked about it in Kelly's podcast. If you're in a job and you're looking at the top tier of that job and you don't love where that person's at, why are you going to spend all this time climbing the ladder to get there? Right? Like what's the fucking point? So like leave, get out, like
I feel
JoJo, get out.
That
right
actually was a lot of my thought process too. I was like,
Yeah.
what the like,
Very
I don't want to
intelligent.
do this the rest of my life. I didn't know what I wanted to do, and it's normal to not know what you want to do. Like it's very much so. Like I have friends that have worked. You know, we graduated 4 years ago. They worked 4 or 5 different jobs. Like that is
Yeah.
fine too. Whatever your path is, like
very
that's
relatable.
great.
I think
Yeah.
you quitting is very relatable. So
Oh, thanks.
no
I'm just
haters.
so relatable for being a quitter, but I'm glad I tried. I think my story like makes sense. Like all the places I've like lived and like things I've done. I'm like, it brought me here, and I'm like so happy now. So I'm like, I'm good.
So the podcast and YouTube were taking off. So you're like, okay, we're just gonna lean into this.
We were like trying to fit in podcasts when she would get home from work. I was still in
Yes.
school, so
Hard.
I had different hours. So
we were doing 2 a week at that time too. Our podcast company, they're great, but they were like, hey guys, we could like put more ads in if we do 2 shows a week.
Oh,
And
me, I
was
see
like,
money. I'm like, perfect. We'll do 6 fucking
Yeah,
podcasts a
we
week.
thought
I know. I was
we
like,
only
oh
can
well.
say so much.
No, it's
then
true.
we're out of content ideas.
We also were doing videos, like 2 videos a week. And
Tough. No,
I
that's
don't have anything to give.
like I have nothing left.
Yeah, I know.
My first podcast was with my best friend Mary Carlisle, and she was still working at this radio company, mass company, Sirius XM, but she had to wake up at like 4 a.m. So I can relate to like Danielle, where she's like, she's giving her all and she's doing so much, which I am still so appreciative. But like, I'd be like, okay, so she works from 4 a.m. to 3 p.m. and then when are we gonna podcast? And then it was like she was making all of these sacrifices and working, but I was also like, wait, her schedule is so tight and she's so exhausted by the time she gets done with that like when does she have to, that's a lot.
It was a lot.
But Danielle
I felt
was
so bad.
hustling too at that time. That was when you were a spin instructor too.
I was
right?
a spin instructor. I was in school and like YouTube
Doing
and
YouTube.
stuff. Yeah.
You always have stayed busy with YouTube too. Like you're very consistent.
On it.
Yeah, Danielle's always been, I alwa's been a little businesswoman.
She
like,
is
seriously.
a business
Oh my gosh, I
lady.
feel that way about you. That's so
No,
funny.
yeah. And we made it work somehow, and I'm glad that we pushed through and like did it all.
Yeah.
But our podcast is coming on 5 years now.
I know.
Which
I
is
saw that the other day, and I was
crazy.
like, they've had a podcast forever.
Yeah.
I love
we're
that.
Like, should we throw a party? Like,
Yeah.
Bitch, yes, have a pregame. I'll be there.
Yeah,
It'll be
I was
fine.
like, Shannon will fly up.
I'll fly up. No, I will still be in New York all the time.
I feel like you
Good.
will.
No, I will.
Got sad for a second, and then I realized that you were coming before you moved here.
I
so.
was so much, and that's why I moved here. And I should have just kept just in my head. I was like, I'm getting hotels so much, it just makes sense to get an apartment. And I really should have just kept getting hotels because I was coming here twice a month.
Right.
Like
that's
often enough that
Yeah.
people were like, did you move here? And I was like, no, but I should have just kept flying back and forth because the amount of
Yeah.
money I spent in rent was just simply I could have the penthouse
But
suite.
now
at
you know you did it.
I tried.
You,
No, it's fine.
And it's beautiful.
Yes.
and-
Listen, failing out loud is a thing.
I don't think it's failing.
I don't
think
think
it
it
was an
is either,
adventure.
yeah.
trying out loud and
Trying.
we did
Yeah.
it. We tried. It's fine. Okay, so because I literally always time flies when you're with your actual friends, I have 2 questions. I'm just gonna do one instead. I was gonna ask you guys how you, but I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong. Have you guys talked about this on your own podcast? Because I'm gonna steer people to your podcast. Have you talked about being friends and keeping work? You guys work together and are friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we were on someone's podcast recently. We were talking about that, but I
was
can't.
it We Met at Acme? She
Yeah.
talked
So
about
go
it a
to
little
We
bit.
Met at Acme. We talk
Yeah.
a lot about it.
Okay,
there.
because I hate to redo things. I have a question too. So you guys have both have boyfriends. I've met them both. Lovely guys. Do you guys keep your relationship on or off? Because I just had Alex in who bears it all, and then I do some not. I talk about my boyfriend a lot, but there are obviously some topics that she even asked. She's like, "Do you guys talk about your sex life?" I'm like, "Not really."
Yeah.
I feel and he's just a little bit more posh than me. So I'm like, I if I did, I would ask for forgiveness instead of permission. And then I'd be like, babe, I said this. Do you need Courtney to edit it out or what? But
Right.
I was curious, being from this world at a very young age, YouTube, did you guys, when you had boyfriends growing up, did y'all keep them off YouTube? Now that you guys have boyfriends now, I follow your content on Instagram, but on YouTube, do you guys vlog and put your boyfriends in the spotlight, or what are your thoughts on the public eye with your relationships?
I think you start first because you had a previous
Okay.
relationship that was I
Yeah.
feel like you had a progression.
Yeah. So I saw you said you got a DM asking about our foreign boyfriends.
Someone was like,
you were
oh
so
my God, you
confused.
guys are in the foreign boyfriend club. I screenshot it and text her. I was like, I'm obsessed with your boyfriend, but he's definitely from Georgia.
Full on Georgia.
That man is go dogs to the bottom of his soul.
You find out he's not from
I was either I am a dumbass bitch or your boyfriend's from Georgia.
math is not math.
Sent me.
Yeah.
I had to do a double take. So I was like, wait, I think they got the wrong Danielle. I remembered. So my previous relationship before.
You're I've remembered my ex.
I
actually.
remembered
I
actually.
remembered.
Well, because so he's from Canada. So to me,
Okay.
I'm it's foreign, but it's connected.
Right,
to the
right,
United
totally.
States.
And they do have accents, but it's not super
Yeah,
different.
he would be like,
Sorry.
sorry. Yeah. Or I loved it. He was literally the best. But yeah, so we met at a YouTube convention, and so
Okay, what was it called?
He was a YouTube Playlist Live.
Okay,
because
because yes, yeah, that was one thing that as a
You
youth,
kinda knew.
I was very into following the Logan and Jake
okay.
Paul, the
Oh,
conventions
okay.
they
Oh,
did
so
and stuff. Yeah. I love
Tana
Houston.
Mojo,
I'm not the
did you
girl
ever-
that's sorry, just never really looked at YouTube. What do you guys do YouTube? I fucking hate when people do that.
I
I'm
hate
you
when people
all
do
know
that.
what fucking YouTube is, bitch. You don't
I
have to
just,
look at it every
don't-
night, but
I prefer
you know what
Netflix,
YouTube is. Okay,
Yeah, that's
Yes,
true.
yeah.
So
Sorry.
we met there.
Just can't stand
and-
when people do that.
No, me neither. Neither does Brooke. Yeah, so we met there. So we were both YouTubers. So we really leaned into it.
Yeah.
I grue a lot. So did he during
For
that time.
sure.
Emotionally, but mainly subscriber wise. And we would we would do.
I mean, emotionally, but subscribers were lit.
Yeah, and that really
Yeah.
wasn't. I did not date him for that at all. I mean, it was hard. It was, long distance. It was
Long
hard.
distance. And listen, here's the thing too. There's nothing wrong with also seeing growth in your business because people
Yeah,
are
I was like, wow.
I've had better views than ever with James, and I'm
Oh,
not
really? Yeah.
I'm not I'm dating. I know I'm not dating him for the views,
Definitely
but if you don't think
not.
I'm not screenshotting my views and sending to my agent, hey, update my books, baby. 'cause
Yeah,
these
it's
views
good
are
right
lit.
now.
Because we only see each other every so often, so when we do, people are tuning in. So there's
100%.
two things can exist at one time. You don't have to
Yes.
be some clout chasing relationship weirdos to also be in a healthy normal functioning relationship that's also on the
Exactly.
internet and doing good for your business.
No, yeah, I think
fine.
it's good to clear it up because some people would be like, "What's that all about?" I'm like, "No, we really loved each other."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in college at one point. whatever. But and it's so funny now. I meet people that are Canadian. They're like, I followed you because of Joey.
I
but
love
like
that.
now I've stuck around. I'm like, thank you.
And you guys are still friends, right?
Yeah, we're still friends. Wish each
and-
other happy birthday. Like
Me and my ex are still friends too, which is a concept that people can't really grasp either. They're like very perplexed by that.
Right.
It's like I get it too because I'm not friends with literally any of my exes but my last one. So it's
That's
like
good.
a sign of maturity too. And
yeah, it's not like we're texting all the time, but you
No,
know,
that'd be weird, but-
you see, I see you. Like
Yeah, yeah.
I
Support.
respect him. Like
I
he's
see you.
literally, I see him on my For You page.
Yes,
each other.
no,
Popped
you
up on
can't avoid
TikTok.
it. I mean, it's there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's everywhere. Anyways, yeah. So that was my previous relationship, and then my next relationship with Ryan, we met in college. So
Okay.
I didn't even tell him about my YouTube. The way he found out was like someone came up and asked him to take a picture of us at a bar, and I was like, well, okay, here we go. And that was when we had just started the podcast, and now I'm like, damn, I wish I talked about it because now it's such a thing to talk about dating and podcasts.
Yeah.
But I was so nervous in college to talk about it. So then I like really didn't show him, and then finally I started posting them on Instagram.
I think it's a very
And-
okay and normal thing to feel
Yeah.
after having a very public relationship. And you're
Yeah.
young and you're trying to protect things that are yours. I think that's very healthy. I would not personally have been as healthy.
I was just like that. I mean, I really enjoyed it. It was a fun era to be in, but yeah. So now it's kind of the balance of like, I post him on Instagram stories every now and then, and like he's in my vlogs sometimes if he's over, but not too much. But we're not making. Actually, we have done one sit down video together. So
And you did like a Ryan's Day in the Life one time. I remember.
yes, oh my
Yeah,
god,
yeah.
during quarantine we were so like I did a vlog and then he did a vlog at home,
Yo,
like him
cute.
versus her.
You gotta
I
find
definitely-
stuff to do, yeah.
I've definitely like done less since then because I don't know. I was just like, I don't like when people comment on him. Like that's not his place.
So
Like,
sorry to keep bringing up, but the last podcast I was talking about like the scary dark depths of Reddit, and I was saying like I used to like always like look at it and be like, people are annoying, people are weird, but like when they start talking about my relationship, it it really affected me. Like I can't explain why, or I don't even know. Maybe I should see a therapist could explain it better, but like that affected me more than like when people were just talking about my looks or how I'm annoying. So like I can see wanting to like hold it in because like, I mean, if they're not able to see it and they're not able to have like a window in, then they can't like talk shit about it. So
Well, you think, because I'm like the opposite now. I'm
Yeah, I
like
was gonna
very
say.
locked up, like pretty private. Like I show pictures, like they know what he looks like, name, like whatever. I tell
Right.
stories, but like he's not in my vlogs.
Right.
Not even like really in Instagram stories. Like I'm with them. Like no.
Right.
Like I consciously made that choice, but also like we kind of talked about it. I was like, I just want. This is my first real relationship.
Really?
Yeah. I know,
Oh my
crazy. I'm
gosh,
such
that
a
is-
First
now-
BF?
I know. Yeah, my first boyfriend.
I love
mean,
that.
Like, dated, had like flings, whatever.
No, but like Remy talks about this too. Our friend Remy Bader.
Yeah.
She's like, it's like my first real relationship. Yeah. Love.
So it's definitely like it's interesting to navigate, I would say. Like, and it complicates things at times when it's like, okay, like I want to vlog. It's like, okay, but like I want to protect our relationship too. And like I think there is a way to do a balance. I think Danielle does a phenomenal job of like, you know, integrate. I think you too. Like people do a great job of like putting it in, but it's not like the core of your personality. It's like girl with boyfriend.
100%.
You know?
And here's the thing, Brooke, and I know you already know this, but
Yeah.
like I always say this all the time, and it's such a hard concept for people to fucking grasp on the internet. Two things can exist at one time. You are also allowed to change your mind one day if you feel like, you know what, I feel like bringing Ben in more. I feel
Yeah.
like whatever. You can fucking do that. You don't have to
so
think, well,
true.
I've always kept it private and locked up. You can absolutely, one day you could have a fucking Ben and Brooke channel, B&B, baby. Like, if you wanted to do that, you could do it. Yeah, you guys are just in planes at all time, Airbnb, like all the time. But like,
Review planes.
you just review planes. Oh my God, I get 10%. So like, like you can do that at one point. The fact that you just want to keep it, I went through this, and producer Courtney remembers, when I first met James, I was so sure of him and so positive that like I wanted this to work, and I just saw it being so good that I was like, I don't say anything. I have put everything on display. I've done it all. This will be the one that I don't talk about. Everyone will understand. Everyone will respect it. My people that love me will still love me. Like, it'll be okay. And then like, I just decided to just talk about it. Honestly, it's probably just for lack of content, or maybe I was just like so happy I couldn't contain myself. I don't know, mixture of the two. But I was like, I have to talk about this. But like, I can relate to feeling so happy that you want to hold it close to your chest and like not let anyone else
Totally.
in. And so like, if one day you decide like, okay, we can let these little wings fly, like you're allowed to fucking do that too. Or you're allowed to keep it to your chest until the day you get married and have kids. Like there's nothing wrong with
But there
that.
are theories literally no matter what, though, is my point. Because
Exactly.
I stumbled upon one, like, I don't read, just so we're clear, but I stumbled upon one at one point, and I was like, this is so far from the truth, and like just
It's
so
hard.
beyond incomparable, like,
I know.
and not true, but it just goes to show that literally fabrication like can create you can create anything.
Silence can make people like even more curious, and it's crazy because you let them in and then they're like too much, and then you hold them back, and then they try to dig. So it's like hard because I mean, I feel like that's why I had to stop looking at Reddit, because when I would look and I would see these theories, right, like whatever crazy shit they'd say about me and James, I would find myself like subconsciously going on my story trying to like break, which like they aren't fucking stupid. They'd be like, "Hi Shannon, we know you read this," because they'd say something, and then like 3 stories later I'd be like, "Oh my god, how weird," and I would like do something against what they said to prove
it that
prove
it's
them wrong,
disprove it,
right?
yeah.
And it's like you're giving in to them regardless. So like either don't look at it and don't respond, or like whatever. Like it's just it's a lose-lose with people like that. So you got to take them out of your arena. And
Very
then,
much so.
No,
I'm clean since the summer. That was like
Not
literally
you.
never been on the website.
I call myself Reddit sober. I know Anna Grace is like, I've never been on. I don't know how to access it, and I'm so scared if I do that I would like dive in. I'm like, don't do it.
No, it's upsetting because I actually think it's like I've used it for other things. Like I used to use it for Orange Theory, like literally finding out the workout of the day, just like practical uses. And
I was Googling something about the last Alex, and Reddit came up, and I was like, my heart was like, I was like, don't click on it. And then I was like, I have to click on it. It's just a website. Like, it's sad. It's like, so I'm so jaded. I'm like, it's on Reddit. I'm like, what's going to happen when I click on this? Is it going to say mean stuff at her? And then it was like saying what reality show she was on before. And I was like, okay, I can click on this article. But like, it's crazy how I associate it with like bad. So it's like hard. It's actually just, a website.
But no matter what you do, if you overshare with your relationship or if you undershare, no matter what, like theories can be created. And I mean, I'm sure, we could all admit that you've seen like a picture of someone on social media and like thought something.
Totally.
Maybe it might not be great. Maybe it is great. Whatever it is, like you have your own opinions and you're entitled to your own opinions, but that doesn't mean your opinions are true. You know?
It's so fucking accurate. And here's the difference in, I would say, losers and us. No, I mean, here's the difference in people that are doing good with their lives and people who are not. I just always call Reddit people losers that are like,
they
really
are
mean,
losers.
but they're fucking losers. I think loser is like the meanest compliment or insult you can give someone. Like, it's like, so if someone called me a loser, I'd be like,
that's pretty low.
I'm like,
I'm
not a
low.
fucking loser. And so I'm like, okay, so I just think they're fucking losers. The ones that are just like brutal all the time for no reason. They're like talking about your looks and your appearance and shit they don't know about. But the difference in a loser and someone who's just a normal human, we all have opinions. I am not someone who can't take criticism, who doesn't understand that people have opinions. From the moment I've done my job online and in person, like I know people have opinions about me and they're allowed to have it. But I always say this, I'm like, oh my God, call your friends and talk shit about me like a normal person.
Yeah, oh my God.
Why do you have,
so
like,
true.
it's so weird that you guys are creating forums where you're openly bashing people about shit you don't know about. Call your mom and be like, this girl's so fucking annoying. You know why they wouldn't do that? Because someone in their life would be like, you're a fucking loser. Like someone in their life, if they called their best friend or their mom or someone was
Bring
like,
it to the group
this
chat,
girl
honestly.
that I don't know posted this and I think her boyfriend and her are this, someone that loves you would be like, you're a fucking loser. Get a grip, right? But these other losers on the internet are like, I couldn't agree more. And so like losers band together with other losers. So you guys are just losing together and that's fine. But like that sets you apart. Like everyone's allowed to have their opinion, but like call your friend and talk shit like a normal person.
If I found out that one of my close friends, like not even for the sake of like me being an influencer and like, having stake in this, if I found out that this is how one of my close friends spent their time, I don't think I would, I don't think I would choose to be friends with that person anymore.
It would just, you'd be like, that's so weird. I could find out the weirdest stuff about my friend and I'd be like, hey, listen, to each their own. But if I found out that they sit on the internet talking shit about people they don't know, I'd be like, what if you like took up knitting? Like that would just be like something else you could do.
Like, different.
Watch some Netflix. Like there's like literally a million other things you could do, even on the computer.
Watch
like
reality TV.
Yes.
Like watch reality TV like normal people. Okay, we are again
so overboard.
No, it's just when I have friends on that I actually love and adore, I just tend to go over time a little bit. So we do have to wrap it up. We're gonna give a little New York skinny minute. So the one thing about me leaving New York and sadly leaving the absolute proximity of these beautiful ladies is that I'm still here for this weekend and we're going to turn it up.
Yes!
And I don't know if Fireball and Carrots are going to be involved, but what should we do when we leave here right now? For anyone that's coming to New York or lives here, what are we going to do?
I literally bought a change of clothes. I'm like, I'm going to have a play date with Shannon and Brooke.
I know. Well, we said we wanted to like go like out and about, but it's raining. But that doesn't mean we can't like post up at like a restaurant bar type of situation
Yes.
You
and
love
chat.
Balthazar bar, but are you like so done with that?
I love Balthazar. I maybe like might want to. I think I might like do a little like moment as I leave, a Sunday fun day moment there, where I just
and
like a
with
last.
the bartenders.
Yeah, I'm like I literally feel like their family. They wish me Merry Christmas. Like They literally messaged me on Instagram like,
that's
Merry
so
Christmas. No, it's really they're like family, okay? But I feel like we should just do something
Let's
like
go post
bougie
up
and fun
somewhere.
and post up at a
Yes.
restaurant. What restaurant will we post up at?
Ooh, there's so many. I mean, we're in Soho. There's Santa and
I'm like, what's
Brooke.
around here?
There's-
Santa and Brooke.
I've never been actually. I sound
Oh,
like
let's
I
go
know
there.
all about
What's it
it.
called again?
St. Ambrose.
St. Ambrose.
Yeah,
yeah,
there's
I
a
don't
few
know how to say
locations.
it.
I love 12 Chairs, but they don't have liquor at this one. It's only wine and beer, which
Count me out.
yeah.
All right,
I
well,
know.
catch us at St. Ambrose. I love you guys.
Thanks
Brooke,
for having
Danielle,
us.
having us. This was
I
so
love
fun,
you
Shannon.
guys.
Seriously.
they'll be back.
Mwah.